So we have News of the World, which was written and directed by Paul Greengrass. If you're unfamiliar with him, he's the guy who wrote and directed the trilogy of the Bourne franchise, and he also wrote and directed Captain Phillips. So right there already should tell you the kind of movies he makes. Um, Mostly just character dramas. Some are high octane action, but above all, character dramas, character studies. And News of the World is a character drama slash character study. It's rated PG-13 and it's set in 1870, and it's basically a newspaper reader that travels around the country at the time, and he goes to every town, reads off newsprint of famous things that have happened in the world. And if they had made a movie based around just that, I would probably say that's a 10 out of 10. If they made a movie where it was literally just the guy walking around, traveling around town to town, reading newspaper articles of famous things that have happened, and alongside subplots and whatnot within each town, gaining character development for secondary and tertiary characters alongside the main character, that itself would probably, to me, be a 10 out of 10, because that's honestly, that's original. Sounds boring, but it's original, at least. But in News of the World, we have that alongside the main character being the traveler, being Tom Hanks as dad. Literally, that's about all that there is to the film's plot. It's basically 1870. He's a newspaper reader that travels, and he discovers an abandoned girl whose carrier ends up getting murdered randomly unknowingly, and he reads some fine print, and then he basically tasks himself to get her from point A to point B, which is what they were trying to do. And along the way, people are, for some reason, and I understand it's in the olden times, but for some reason, there are people along the way that want to buy a 10-year-old and rape her. Not really sure why grown ass 40-year-old dudes want to buy a girl and do that when they literally can go to what they call brothels back then and literally pay for the exact same thing from an older woman around the same age as them or even younger, but that's not a child. But that's besides the point. That's only one of the subplots. So News of the World is, to simplify, which I already did, is basically just Tom Hanks playing dad to some girl that doesn't know a lick of English. And this is a really good film. This is a very well made film. This is a very well written film set in 1870, and everything is basically war torn. Most towns he goes to, it really shows that off. The production value of this film is amazing. Cinematography, there are scenes of excellence in it. The acting is very well done. So basically, what I'm saying is, go watch this film, but also understand that it has basically essentially a bare bones I'm dad plot set in 1870. That's practically what it is. He's not the actual dad, but he plays dad, and nothing against the acting or the performances or the writing or the direction. It's just my only gripe with the film is literally that. It's a standard plot. Like I said, if they had stuck to a formulaic plot of he's a newspaper reader, goes town to town, dealing with subplots, which they do that. But if they kept that as the main story and helped people out throughout the town and throughout the country and world, I think that would have been a more original narration. Sounds boring, but again, at least it would be original and different. Otherwise, we get everything that's well made for a formulaic standard plot. And that's about the third or fourth time I've said that. So that's really all I have to say about this film. Yeah, still though, I would say go watch it or rent it when it comes out for at home. You can buy it. It's good for at least one time viewing. So ultimately, for me, News of the World is an 8 out of 10. Thank you.